Hi everyone, it's Tammy and we're back for another video, and today we are doing the 50 stack challenge number 2, which is a challenge that was created by Amy at Crafty Cat, and I will link her video from this past week in the description box below so that you can get the prompts and see what she made. And also she gives an explanation of the rules, which there aren't really any rules other than you have to use the prompts. So I chose to use playing cards, and this was from the first week, and it was she's doing opposites, and it was winter and summer. So those are my two cards for that. And this week, the prompts are young and old. And so I was going through trying to find something for young and old. And I ran across in my collection of little advertising cards and stuff that I got when I went to Tybee Island. For those of you that have followed me for a while, you'll know that we went on vacation, not Tybee Island, I'm sorry, Outer Banks, a couple years ago, and I hit the jackpot at an antique store. Someone had gotten a scrapbook, and they had taken all the images out of the scrapbook and put them in you know, just Ziploc bags, and I just happened to stumble on them. And so I ended up with all these Ziploc bags full of cutouts and advertising cards and calling cards and just all kinds of really cool stuff that were in a old scrapbook. Well, one of the things that they had in the scrapbook that I thought were particularly hilarious were these images, and they're advertising cards, and they were already cut, so I don't know. It looks like they were for some kind of vegetable liver pill or something like that, but they made these images based on the old saying that you start to look like your dog. And so these images were in there, and I think they are so funny. I hope you can see these okay. But they are people and their dogs, and you can see that the people look like their dogs. I hope you can see that. So I have picked two of these. I'm going to use this for my old because, bless her heart, she does look very old. And I'm going to use this little feller for young. And we're going to decorate our cards. And that is going to be our interpretation of young and old. So I've got two cards here, and these are just old playing cards. And I chose the cards because I have a ton of them, and I'm never going to use them all. And I thought they would look really cute once we got through the whole thing stored in this little box. So that's what I'm using. And I've got some other little pieces here. Here are a couple of the flowers that were in that same lot that I got. And they're, you know, like the old German scrapbook kind of flowers that all come connected together like on a page, and you cut them apart and put them in your scrapbook. I don't know what the German word for it is. I'm sure if I have a German speaking person out there, they could tell me what that is. But there is a word for it. I just don't know it. And then I've got a couple tabs because I am tabbing all the little cards just to add some interest. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my tabs on. Do I want to ink them? Yes, I think I do. And I've got my camera a little closer today because I had a comment that you couldn't see really well. And so I'm hoping by making an adjustment that you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. It's hard to get that right place to zoom in or out because your space is so limited when you're filming your working space that if you're working on something that's very big, you can't get it all in the camera. So I'm hoping, since I'm working on these little cards, that I can work in an area where you can see a little bit closer. Although these are not going to be real complicated at all. Because the image, of course, is going to take up most of the card, as you can see. Alright, so let's get our tabs on. I want to put those on first because I want them to be down underneath the image. I hope everybody has had a good week. It's Friday for me, so the best part of my week is just now starting because it's video day. So I get to make my videos today instead of working my regular job. So that's always good. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of this book page because I want just a tad up in the corners, just to kind of give a little something back there. And then I might put just a little bit down this tab. Like that. I'm really enjoying this challenge and the other one. I'm doing the original 50 stack challenge as well. That one's about over. I think we've got, what, 2 weeks left? That one? Gosh, I can't believe it. Time just flies when you're doing what you love, huh? Okay, trim that just a little bit. Miss that little edge right there. Let's get smart glitter glue in there. There we go. All right, so we have young and old. So this little dude is gonna go on here. I'm sorry, I just crack up every time. And these, like I said, were already cut out. So I'm just trying to work with what was already there. But it fits perfect in that corner there. So I'm going to do that. And then I've got these little flowers, and I'm going to stick them back there like that. Just so you can see a little bit of the card, a little bit of the book page. But the focus will be our image, of course. So, kind of like that. So let's put our flower down. And these are really, really fragile. I don't have any idea how old they are. But there were a ton of them in these bags. I was so excited. And I bought a couple of bags, and I thought, well, because you couldn't really see, they had them all taped up, you know, and you couldn't really see what all was in them. And so I bought a couple of bags, and they weren't expensive at all. And I got them back to where we were staying, and I opened them up and was kind of looking at what was in it. And I told my husband, I said, we've got to go back. I said, I want every one that they have. I said, this is unbelievable. And so we drove back down to the store, and I bought all of them. So that was definitely an awesome find. Occasionally I'll run across something good like that. And then sometimes I look all day and don't find anything. You just never know. But looking is almost as fun as making. I enjoy both. Okay. Then I'm going to back that. Let's see. That's one thing I didn't grab, is something to back it with. I'm reaching over into my little scrap bin. This will work. This is like the front page of an old book. We'll back it with that, just to give a writing surface for if I want to write on the back. I might go through at the end if I decide that I'm gonna keep these. And write down, you know, what the prompts were or something. If I decide I'm not going to keep them and I use them in journals, then that'll be something that you can write on. And I should have trimmed that before I put the tab on, probably. We'll figure it out. Probably can just tear it, to be honest. Because it's not the sturdiest piece of paper. There we go. So there's our young. It just cracks me up. All right, and then let's put this on here first. And I use Pritt Stick for those of you that are interested for my glue stick. I think it's the best I've ever used. And then this, of course, is art glitter glue. And the only other glue I really use is the 3-in-1, and that's for mainly for thicker materials and fabrics and that kind of thing. I find those 3 suit about every need that I have in the glue regions. I do usually, or sometimes use, usually not, but sometimes use like a double-sided tape. Especially if I'm working with something that's more transparent, so we don't get ugly little glue splotches. Okay, then we're going to put our lady on here. Oops, wrong. I want my tab on that side. I'm trying to determine, I kind of want her little kerchief up here to be not cut off because that represents the ears, like the ears of the dog. And if I go this way, yeah, I think I'm going to go that way. Even though we're going to use part of the paws in her hand, I think it's more important that these little ears show. And then for that, I have another little piece from the scrapbook, and it's got raspberries on it. And I'm just going to stick it back there for just another piece on these. And I'm using art glitter glue on these because I'm afraid that if I try to use a glue stick, I'm going to pull them apart because they are so fragile. So normally, you know, I think a glue stick would work fine on these cards because they're not the shiny ones. You know, they're more paper-like. Trying to decide the best angle to get everything there. And if they didn't have to go in my box, I would have just left this hanging off the top and not really worried about trimming it, but the box that I'm putting the cards in just barely fit the cards in there, so I can't have any overhang. Alright, so like I said, that one's simple. I'm going to put some kind of sentiment on the cards. I'm not sure what yet. Something like smile might be appropriate. Oh my. Alright, so I'll show you those close up. This is young. And this is old. So thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed that and got as much of a chuckle out of it as I have. I'm glad to actually find some place to use these images because they do make me happy. So that's this week, and it was a quick one, but I do appreciate you being here, and I will be back tomorrow for, I still don't know what we're doing, so I'm going to have to go think about that for a little bit. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye.